Good morning and welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chump Change. This is live recorded and super early today. We have a Dynex live stream right after this. They're going to be announcing some awesome POU or proof of useful work, POUW information. So it's going to be a very awesome live stream. I can't wait to have them on. Going to be 4 of the devs, I believe, and a few other people. So we're going to see how things go. And then we have Kaspa listing Binance today. That is absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to see what happens, even though the market is ridiculously red. Let's get into this. Let me just pop out the chat quick and see who's here. Sorry, I'm like a little laggy today, obviously, because it is early as hell. What's going on, Crypto KJ? Good to see you. He said, you wet the bed, be honest. I wet the bed. Who said that? You just talking to me, son of a bitch? Crypto KJ, such a troll, but I love you. We have Matt Electron. What's up, buddy? Andrew Masai, good to see you. David G. Who else? Zapirate. Andrew, good to see you, buddy. All right, let's get into this because I don't think many people are here just yet. It is way early for us to be going live. All right, let's get into the market, see what we're looking like. Bitcoin 36,476. We have Ethereum 1969, just under 2K. It's actually the first time it's been under 2K in like a week, actually. We have Dogecoin up over 8 cents. Wow, look at that. 8.3, nice. Maybe my L7 will be profitable at some point. That'd be great. We have Solana in the deep red, down 10%, but still $58. Pretty amazing. Kaspa is even in the red, but it's down 4.37%. It just changed in front of our eyes, and we're at 12 cents. That's still ridiculously good. Oh wait, Crow's at 9 cents? What? Crow had a pump too? Nice. Well, last week. Didn't even notice. Maybe I did, but didn't realize. $71 Litecoin. Not too bad. All right, let's check out crypto bubbles. Let's check out the week first. I got to start with the week. It's more green. It makes me happier. You know what I mean? Looking at this, Kaspa 36.3% on the week. What is this? YFI? Yearn Finance? What the hell's Yearn? It's such a weird name. 104%. Nice. AVAX 65.9. We have 145 on TIA. That's Celestia. Renders up 31% on the week. Nice. Rank number 50. Hell yeah. Let's go to the day and everything is just dead. Everything's red as hell. Nothing. Yeah, it's just kind of the overall sentiment. It's a Friday. People sell. They want to spend money on the weekends. Totally get it. All right, let's get into the Fear and Greed Index. Apologize for blinding you guys. We have 63 on the greed chart as of right now. Again, I don't pay too much significance to this unless it's over 70 or under, like, I don't know, say 40 or so. Those are like the 2 spots that I'd really pay attention to. Check out the top 10 coins by coin market cap. We have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, XRP. Let's see, Solana, USDC, Lado Staked Ether knocked down to 8th. Wow, Cardano and Dogecoin. Wow, that dropped pretty hard. Actually, I don't remember, was this in the 8th spot yesterday? Does anybody know? Man, it is early. I didn't get to check anything from yesterday's stream before I started. We have Litecoin at 18th, Shiba in 19th. Ooh, there's some Shiba Inu news, actually. There is. Manny Pacquiao. Like, something to do with him. I forget what it is. I think we're going to see it in Altcoin Daily's video. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but I saw a brief. I think at the end, they mentioned something about Manny Pacquiao supporting, or they supported Shiba, or Shiba supported him. I don't know. Never mind, I'm done talking. It's too early. Bitcoin Cash at 21st. We have 229 for that. Let's see. Where's Kaspa? Kaspa came back. All right, it flipped Monero yesterday. It was in 27th, but now Kaspa's back in 30th. Under. Wow. Jeez. They took 400 or 300 million came out of the market yesterday. Wow. That's surprising. Probably in lieu of the Binance listing where they, people think that the price is just going to dump. So I guess we'll have to see. What's up, Matt Electron? You know what? This is your kind of stream. It's nice and early for you. All right, let's get into the mining aspect of this. Just see what we got going on over here with the Kaspa miners. This K9 was making $300 a day yesterday at 10 cents kilowatt hour, and it was still making 290 at 30 cents kilowatt hour, which was crazy. But we're looking at the 10.3 terahash K9 Kaspa miner, $276.17 a day. The KS3 9.4 terahash is $250 a day from Bitmain. The other KS3 from Bitmain is the 8.3 terahash, $221 a day. The Ice River KS3 is $212 a day. We have the KS3M, 157, KS2, $52, KS1, 26.14. Again, all at 10 cents kilowatt hour, but realistically, I could double this. I did it yesterday on my video, actually. If you guys didn't see it, go check it out. But the profits are still pretty much there. What was this? Just that what was it, 270? So this is at 30 cents. It's at 260. Let's go back down to 10, right? Yeah, it's like literally not even that much different. It's like 15 bucks less. It's like $15 less to have a tripled electric rate versus, you know, the 10 cents, because I'm going to be paying 30 and it kind of sucks. Anyways, we have the X16Q, which I'm heating my house with, which I'm actually auto converting to Kaspa in unMineable. Again, if you guys saw that video yesterday, you'd know this. We have $5.40 a day. ETC and ZIL is the most profitable on that machine. Oh, the KS0 Pro, the 200 gigahash Kaspa miner running right next to me. It's actually not heating my office as well as I was hoping, but it is making $5.28 a day, so that's pretty cool. The original KS0 is making $2.60 a day. Not too bad. The X4Q still most profitable mining Octaspace at $1.63 a day, and the X4-1U looks like 68 cents a day. Not making too much off it, but is what it is. You know what? I want to look. What are how bad are the mini doges? Oh, right here. Mini doge 2, negative 25 cents a day, and that's at 10. That's at 10 cents. Look at this. I love how it says never. I never noticed that. Oh, it doesn't show it when you zoom in. Damn it. Did you guys see that? Look at this. It says never. Payback never. That's funny as hell. That's great. What do these say? Payback. Oh, it gives you the months. Okay. So if it's in the red, it just says never. That's a riot. I never noticed that. All right, let's check out Ice River real quick. If you guys need any Kaspa ASICs or anything along those lines, I have an affiliate code down below, but you do save 5%. So it helps you out and helps me out. But the thing here is I really was debating on getting one of these units right here. The KS1, just to help heat my house in the winter, because like I do it with mining rigs. Why not? Especially if something's profitable, then it's worth it. But everything's sold out. Like I noticed it during my recording yesterday, and I was like, shit. Well, missed the boat on that one because everything is sold out. So unfortunate, but it is what it is. I could still, I don't care how profitable the KS3 is, I could still not spend, I don't know, 14K on an ASIC, man. I just can't do it. I don't know what it is. Could you guys do that? Like, does it bother you guys? Like, would you be able to do that? Even though I could spend like $2,000 on a 3090 in the last bull run, I'm like, you know, pinching pennies to not spend 14K on a KS3. Let's see what you guys are saying. We're wearing the same sweatshirt, says Dan Rocks. Appreciate you, buddy. Yes, crypto merch you guys would like. The Dynex hoodie. Here it is. Let me blow this up. I had to wear it today, man. We're having a big announcement. Big announcement after this. Proof of useful work stuff. Pretty interesting. I got a sneak peek last night, but I can't be leaky over here. All right, let's get this going. We're gonna start with CNBC's Crypto World. Jump into the news segment. Again, I didn't get to watch too much stuff this morning. It is way early. I was up at like 5 a.m. Not really happy about that. Let's get into this, guys. Smash that like. Let's see what BlackRock file spot Ethereum ETF application with the SEC. CNBC's Crypto World. So shout out to them for this video. Let's get into it. You guys have any questions, add me in the chat.
Today, crypto prices trade flat after a bumpy 24 hours. Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy rolls out a crypto policy framework aimed at cutting red tape. And Jonathan Levin of Chainalysis explains how he's helping lawmakers understand blockchain's.
I'm gonna send this guy some new glasses, bro. Why? Those look like they came off Mr. Potato Head. I'm going to hell. I am going to hell. And I totally forgot to bring up the Binance futures thing. So I had to say this before we get into the videos. We have Binance futures launching the Kaspa perpetual contract. Totally forgot. It was at the last tab. I didn't notice until right now. So anyways, guys, they are listing this today. Kaspa over on Binance futures, 2 o'clock UTC. I think that's later tonight. Can anybody else please explain to me if this, like, what time is that? Because there's no PM, AM, PM, nothing. So is it military time? Is it later tonight? Please, someone tell me. Does anybody know? Is anybody from UTC? That'd be great. It'd be great if you tell me, because I don't know. I think it's at night, but it didn't make sense when I was like, at night? Why are they going to list something at night? But it's already listed. Okay, so it was this morning. Damn it. I knew I was wrong. I knew it. Knew it. Thank you, Anis. That's probably why. You know what? Actually, hold on. Hold on. Hold the phone. I'll turn the music back on for a second. So, you know what? If it's already listed, I can't use Binance. So I'm not, obviously I'm in the US, can't use Binance. So if it's already listed and it's only really pulled back so far to 12 cents, that's, to be honest, more than shocking to me. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, sorry. Let's get back into this. Mr. Potato Head's gonna tell us some stuff.
Role in fighting criminal financing. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Tanea McKeel. Crypto prices are mixed this morning after swinging pretty wildly over the past 24 hours. By noon Eastern, Bitcoin was little changed, above $36,000. Ether dipped just slightly, but still held above $2,000, and XRP dropped to 62 cents. Okay, let's talk about the latest headlines. BlackRock has filed its proposed spot Ether ETF with the SEC. On Wednesday, the investment giant submitted its S-1 registration form for the iShares Ethereum Trust, a fund that would track the price of Ether directly.
Perfect.
This submission to the SEC comes after last week's filing with the NASDAQ to list the proposed fund on the exchange. Ether prices rallied after that previous filing, and they did so again briefly after yesterday's S1. Next, Do Kwon's appeal of the verdict in his fake passport case has been denied. In a statement on Thursday, the High Court in Montenegro called the Terraform co-founder's request to turn over his 4-month prison sentence unfounded. It said the lower court correctly handed down that sentence after Do Kwon was found with forged passports and IDs. Of course, Do Kwon had been considered
and a shitty haircut. You guys see? You see? Look at the hairs. He's still got hairs on him from the shitty haircut.
Passports and IDs. Of course, Do Kwon had been considered a fugitive since the collapse of Terra Luna last year.
He wasn't
Prosecutors here in the U.S. are still working to get him extradited to face fraud charges. Finally, Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy has rolled out his plan for the crypto industry. Dubbed the 3 freedoms of crypto, the framework promises far-reaching deregulation. The proposal calls for a 75% cut to the federal workforce, which would start with the SEC. Another pillar of the plan would be...
Hold on. Do they shave his head when they take him in? Mr. Hawk, he said that's a prison cut, bro. Do they really do that? Do they really just freaking bick your head or whatever? Not just like buzz it off? Is that what happens when they throw you in that car? If you're going to jail for 4 months? Let me know. That's freaking neat. I didn't know that.
Shielding developers of crypto projects from legal action, citing the sanctions of Tornado Cash and the subsequent charges against the Crypto Mixer's founders back in August. Ramaswamy would also oppose the creation of a central bank digital currency, or CBDC. This latest proposal is the most direct plan for the crypto industry put forth by a 2024 Republican presidential candidate, but it is also somewhat at odds with calls from GOP lawmakers for more regulation for the industry instead of less. President Biden put forth his own crypto framework in September of last year, which called for deeper consumer protections and law enforcement action, along with partnership between the SEC and CFTC.
You woke up to sign that one.
All right, let's stick with Washington's scrutiny of crypto for our main story. On Wednesday, the House Financial Services Committee held a hearing titled Crypto Crime in Context, breaking down the illicit activity in digital assets. Committee members called it a bipartisan fact-finding mission to figure out how to use blockchain to combat illicit activity. Crypto World's Jordan Smith spoke to Jonathan Levin, the co-founder and chief strategy officer of Chainalysis, and one of the witnesses in that hearing to find out what he wanted lawmakers to learn.
Yeah, this dude, there's nothing against this dude. He's super brilliant, but those glasses, bro, I don't understand it.
All right, Jonathan. So I'm actually speaking to you ahead of your testimony in front of the House today. You're speaking to them on crypto's role in illicit finance. Can you just walk me through what you want Congress to take away from your testimony today? What's the most important points that lawmakers should hear?
Yeah, sure. Great to be here. Really what the idea behind the hearing is to understand, how is crypto being used for illicit activity, and really what can Congress do to prevent illicit activity from happening in cryptocurrencies. And I think there's sort of 3 main takeaways. One is on the domestic policy side, we need to make sure that, domestic institutions have the right number of touch points with US regulators and US law enforcement. So making sure that there is a real framework for digital asset regulation with, single prudential regulators on specific types of activity is sort of a major point for, both cryptocurrency exchanges and also for stablecoin issuers. When it comes to the international policy side, we're also concerned about the abuse of unlicensed money service businesses and sort of over-the-counter brokers in different jurisdictions that don't have proper oversight. And so helping the US government work more closely with partners around the world to tackle that threat. And finally, there needs to be greater resources dedicated to this new type of financial intelligence for the US government. And what we have shown is that with the right data, the right tools, and the right support, governments around the world can actually be pretty successful at disrupting these illicit finance networks when it comes to cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the knowledge gap there. There was a point that Chainalysis made right at the start of the war between Israel and Hamas that the role crypto plays in terrorism financing is perhaps a little overstated. Can you talk about the ways that crypto is tracked or used in financing terrorism, and what work needs to be done to make sure that we have an accurate picture of how it's being used?
Hawk in the chat said Harry Potter just called. He wants his glasses back.
Yeah, so when it comes to terror financing, really this is about understanding both the use of cryptocurrency by terrorist organizations like Hamas, and also the enablers and facilitators that allow them to get hands on that cryptocurrency or broader assets. So, this is not a new problem. Really, the task at hand is to identify those intermediaries and facilitators and make sure that there is disruption of that. The misconception and sort of the misunderstanding in general has been...
You know what? Mr. Andrew Masad said, like fiat is not used in terror financing. And you know what? You're 1,000% correct. It's not just crypto. Like, let's be real. It is not. It's just the easiest form of payment, which is the whole point behind crypto. So, I mean, they're taking the one shit thing out of the middle and, kind of putting a highlighter on it and just floating in front of us instead of just, actually, whatever. I don't know. It's ridiculous.
Around, understanding the specific use of terrorist organizations of cryptocurrencies for direct operational use or crowdfunding, and the broader sphere of enablers and facilitators, where not all of those funds necessarily are involved in the financing of terror. There are other funds also that are being given to those facilitators and enablers because some of them are getting abused by terror organizations like Hamas.
Yeah. You mentioned there's
I'm glad he kind of cleared that up. It's not just crypto funding it, and it's such a stupid sentiment. Like the way people they want to make it look as bad as possible so they can regulate it as much as possible. That's the entire thing here.
A multifaceted approach to how regulators, lawmakers around the world can approach this issue. Specifically in the US, though, I think there has been a really strong pushback to the crypto industry this year after a lot of the trouble that we saw in 2022. Are you having this dialogue with lawmakers now to make sure that they take the right approach, that they're not too aggressive? Is there any concern that they may overreact in terms of crypto regulation?
Yeah, I think that there is a risk of overreaction. Whenever something like this happens, there's headlines and political pressures to take some form of action. And I think that the good thing is that the industry has been engaged on the substance of what goes into having a good market structure, what goes into actually being able to have a domestic stablecoin framework that allows for us to continue to innovate and build in this space. And so I think that the right things have happened in terms of Congress holding hearings to understand what are the limitations of these different frameworks and abilities to prevent cryptocurrency being used for bad purposes, and what constructively can be done to encourage more innovation domestically and for there to be greater regulatory clarity.
Yeah, that goes right into my next question about how constructive the conversations have been with lawmakers ahead of this hearing and just in general. Have they been receptive to some of these regulations that the industry have been asking for? Are they asking the right questions from your perspective, or is there still work to be done?
So real quick, we talked about this yesterday about interviewers that get questions ahead of time. So somebody said something about Kathy Wood having the questions yesterday in CNBC's video prior, and I honestly don't think she does, but in this case I think he gets the questions first because it's too much. I don't know. I don't feel like it would be right off the top of the head here.
Yeah, I think for the most part, there's been a massive increase in the level of sophistication of the questions and, the ideas that are coming out of Congress. We now have several sort of bills in circulation, and, some of them do obviously need to be sort of fleshed out and worked on. But, for the most part, there is now a constructive dialogue happening between lawmakers in the industry on exactly what are the right principles to follow when it comes to this. And I think that particularly on the money laundering side, everyone agrees that $1 is too much when it comes to terrorist financing, but we do need to take a risk-based approach on making sure that we allow for policymakers to understand the unique capabilities that come out of the blockchain and the unique challenges that are also presented.
And finally, from a law enforcement perspective, has there been any dialogue from, say, Chainalysis on how to better provide information to law enforcement for tracking through the blockchain some of this illicit finance, whether it's financing terrorism or money laundering or any of the other issues that they're trying to track down when it comes to blockchain technology? What does the dialogue look like from a law enforcement perspective?
Yeah, so, we've spent the best part
It would have been great if he was just like, the jails aren't big enough to arrest everybody. Just left it at that.
The last decade working with law enforcement agencies around the world on this very topic. And I think that, we've moved from the world of which, there was very little understanding in law enforcement to now there are sort of people in law enforcement who are experts in being able to follow the money in cryptocurrency and have been very successful at bringing cases. I think we're approaching sort of the next era of this, which is, not just having investigators that are very well trained in being able to follow the money, but also being able to build, data systems and detection systems to more proactively go looking for these networks and be able to continue to make, the cryptocurrency industry a safer place.
Well, shout out to him. I still think those glasses, there's no bend in them. You just take, remember Mr. Potato Head, you take them off and they're just, things don't bend at all. They're just solid. Oh man, it's hysterical. When Hawk said Harry Potter, that had me cracking up. That was great. All right, let's get into this. Bombshell updates in Bitcoin and crypto today. This is from Mr. Austin over at Altcoin Daily. Again, we're going live early today because we have the Dynex proof of useful work announcements later on in a little bit. So it's going to be very exciting. I do have it in the pinned comment. If you guys are interested, go check it out. And I guess the Kaspa futures over on Binance was already listed. So up to 50 times leverage. I am in the US, so I don't use Binance, but pretty big deal if anybody's just joining and you guys didn't know about that. Yeah, it's kind of shocking that it's not it hasn't really dumped the market yet or at all. We've seen a pullback obviously, right? But the Kaspa overall, let's let's go here. Just refresh. So, considering, it's down 2 cents from it was yesterday. All right, let's check out the chart real quick. Let's go to the 7-day maybe. Let's go 24 hours, I guess. Yesterday to today, it's really, I was expecting a sharp wick down somewhere. So, I don't know. Let me know how that looks. I probably have to find out how to look at the volume over on Binance somehow. That'd be kind of neat. All right, let's get into this. Again, hit that like button, guys. Appreciate if you're hanging out. I know we're early today. I apologize. Let's do it.
Looking at the Bitcoin price, as we rally higher, yes, we took a dip today, but as crypto adoption continues to happen, there's a frenzy of international interest in this asset class.
What we want to talk about is this entire bunch of cryptocurrencies. Manisha is here to tell us more. Manisha, what's going on? I've also, been seeing some reports which just
she's like, Manisha's texting, put your damn phone down.
Have completely crazy target prices on Bitcoin.
And while the bigger news is probably what just happened with
she's over there like Tornado Cash in crypto live on air.
BlackRock, a new filing with Ethereum, as well as why is Avalanche pumping, Why is Polygon pumping? Why are altcoins pumping? This is
She's like, I'm sorry, Cindy. Binance just listed Kaspa. I'm trying to get out of this.
international interest.
Bitcoin, as we've been talking about, is trading at the highest since May 2022. But the last 24 hours absolutely belong to Solana, which gained up by nearly 11 to 18% on the higher side. It's now the 6th largest crypto in sense of market capital there. And Solana, of course, is seen as more efficient, cost-effective, even more than Ethereum. And that clearly has been the major favorite within the altcoins.
But the revolution that is happening today on American soil with this upcoming U.S. presidential election, this is becoming mass marketing for cryptocurrency as all these different candidates are forced to take a stance on their policy.
My view on the promise of Bitcoin, though, is deeper than that.
Real quick, before he gets into talking too much, how do you guys feel about this guy? I mean, I don't like to do like politics stuff, but like overall, like, does anybody like love this guy in the chat? Just let me know. I mean, I know he's pro crypto, which is freaking awesome, but there's a few people that are like that, right? I don't know. We'll see how it goes, I guess.
It is an opt-out from the broken financial architecture created.
I have an update from the video we put out about 5 months ago, what every single presidential candidate, their stance on Bitcoin, just in.
Dynex interviews in an hour, DJ. It's at 8 a.m. my time.
Presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy lays out his 3 freedoms of crypto policy framework.
I got to ask you, if you become president of the United States, what changes from a crypto perspective?
I think what changes is that regulation by enforcement ends. What does that mean? That the rules are delineated clearly in advance rather than you having to wait for an enforcement action for the SEC to figure out whether or not a given coin was a security or not, that Gary Gensler refuses to say today, for example, about Ethereum. What also changes is that any unconstitutional regulation, not just as it affects crypto, this is part of a broader administrative state reform for me, but any regulation that Congress did not expressly give an agency the power to pass is null and void. It turns out that applies to most regulations governing the crypto industry.
So first and foremost, clear regulations, which I like. And I'll get to other candidates in a minute. Again, we'll cover everything, so you have all the information. But number 1, Vivek says he will protect code as freedom of speech.
And I put these into 3 categories for the areas of reform that I've laid out. One is the freedom to code. It's my view that code is speech. And while it's perfectly appropriate for the government to go after bad actors, if you take the Tornado Cash example, going upstream for the actual developers of the code, that's wrong. You got to draw the distinction between the code itself, which is protected, versus people who misuse it to steal. That's something that's not.
Wow, wow. I had no idea where he was going with that, but that's actually a pretty good thing. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually pretty cool.
Happening today. That's
because that's true. That's true, right? Because you know how, again, regulation by enforcement, like, you know, Gary Gensler's always pointing fingers at people. It's at the end of the day, sometimes it's not really the people that actually developed the product or did the coding, as this guy's saying, right? It's the people that are actually using it to do money laundering because maybe that wasn't the coder's intention and it was just used incorrectly. I mean, that's definitely a possibility. That's really that's kind of crazy, actually.
Freedom of speech is principle number 1. It's the freedom to code. Principle number 2 is financial self-reliance. I'll give you the punchline here. There's a lot that's behind it, but the punchline is self-hosted wallets should not be touched. I mean, that's part of the Jeffersonian, Jacksonian vision of financial self-reliance.
Right. I'm voting for him now. I don't care.
Independence.
I'm just kidding.
We can't have a regulatory apparatus that effectively creates self-hosted wallets and prevents them from actually being able to exist. So that's point number 2.
So self-hosted wallets are just regular DeFi crypto wallets.
That's amazing. That's a really good thing.
Now there's custodial and non-custodial. Non-custodial, like a MetaMask, like anything you control, are self-hosted.
Yeah, non-custodial, like he's talking about like anything. It could, you know, be EliPal. Actually, shout out to EliPal. It's EliPal 2.0. This is pretty awesome crypto wallet scanned by QR codes. I also have the original Titan still here, right here. And then, yeah, there's a whole bunch of different ones, but like Ledger, honestly, any app on your phone, pretty much anything that you completely control, not like Coinbase or Binance or whatever. If you have money on those exchanges, obviously we usually say don't put money on exchanges, but you guys kind of get the gist.
While custodial would be like the Coinbases or an exchange where they hold your keys. They say it's yours, but they're really in control.
And then point number 3 is just the freedom to innovate. and I say this as somebody who comes from multiple different regulated industries in the past, the wet blanket on American innovation isn't even Congress. It's the regulatory state that's making up its own rules, regardless of the laws that actually exist in this country. And so we'll rescind all of those unconstitutional federal regulations. We'll downsize the federal employee headcount by 75%, which I think is a good thing. A lot of these toxic regulation and enforcement action come from the fact that if you have a bunch of people showing up to work who shouldn't have had that job in the first place, they find things to do. We'll put an end to that. And the good news about all of this is these are things I can get done as the U.S. president without asking Congress for permission or for forgiveness, because this relates to the executive branch.
Many people do not know this, that the United States is one of the largest Bitcoin holders in the world.
Yeah, did you guys know that, actually? The United States is one of the largest friggin' holders in the world.
So obviously Satoshi owns a lot, the Winklevi twins own a lot, exchanges are big holders, but because of criminal confiscations and hacks.
The Winklevoss twins have 70,000 Bitcoin. Oh my, gross. That's insane.
The U.S. Department of Justice and public wallets, which we can check, have been quietly accumulating and holding Bitcoin. So it's no wonder, after all the rumors...
All right, so let me just clarify the FUD in that statement, right? Yes, they're accumulating Bitcoin, but not as much as purchasing it. They are stealing it from people that do bad things, right? So do you guys remember that CNBC interview we watched? It was like a documentary. It was, man, I don't remember his name. It was some guy. Some guy took a shit ton, like stole a bunch of Bitcoin from Silk Road. Somehow he found like a coding error and ended up withdrawing a whole bunch of funds. And he ended up taking it, putting it on a flash drive, and yeah, he got caught. So when he got caught, they took his funds and they just kept it. They didn't return it to anybody that, you know, was stolen from, obviously, because it was an illegal site. They just like, you know what? Thanks. You're going to get a year in jail. We're going to let you out and you're going to be broke. Appreciate your service.
All the speculation, BlackRock officially files for a spot Ethereum ETF with the SEC. The Form S1 comes a week after BlackRock registered their iShares Ethereum Trust entity with the Delaware state. That's exactly what Larry Fink did before he registered his Bitcoin ETF. And if/when approved, this will be listed on NASDAQ. If you hold Ethereum, you'll like this. According to James Seifert, who is a lead analyst at Bloomberg Intelligence, Ethereum has achieved commodity status, but the SEC won't admit it. The SEC and Chair Gary Gensler won't publicly acknowledge that Ethereum is a commodity, but multiple actions since 2018 show they implicitly accept its commodity status. He lists multiple examples why, and then how this affects you. He says that if the SEC officially declared Ethereum a security, that would likely lead to a duel with the CFTC, which the SEC doesn't want. Bloomberg Intelligence expects the SEC to treat Ethereum more like Bitcoin and approve a spot Ethereum ETF in 2024. Hey, why is Polygon...
I mean, why wouldn't they approve it? To be honest, why wouldn't they? It's a huge cash cow for BlackRock and all these other companies. Like, no chance. If they approve a Bitcoin ETF, I would assume the top two, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then we were talking about this actually on Saturday Night Live. There was probably going to be a collective group of the top 10 coins. You know, they'll do like some sort of, I don't know, what do you even call it? Just ETF on the top 10 coins, like the spot of that. Be kind of neat, right?
Pumping? Well, you can always tune in to Altcoin Daily and find out.
Shout out to Austin.
Yesterday, Polygon Proof of Stake chain processed 6.71 million transactions. That's the highest amount of daily transactions for Polygon.
Holy shit. Look at that freaking boner candle on that. What? That was yesterday? That wasn't yesterday. Was that yesterday? It had to be. Maybe. No. I don't know. Was it? That's crazy. Oh, it says right
Since
there.
October 2021.
November 15th. Yeah, so it was yesterday to him. He put this out last night. I got you.
Transactions for Polygon since October 2021.
Crypto index.
Also looking at net inflows when compared to the other major blockchains. New. Compared to all blockchains, Polygon POS and Polygon ZK EVM have recorded the highest net inflow over the last 24 hours. beating Avalanche, beating Optimism, coming in at 1 and 2. And also major news, as we shared in yesterday's video, Polygon DEX volumes are up over 200% in the last 30 days. Now, why is this happening? Well, as explained by one of the founders of Polygon, Sandeep, he says, I hear there's some game, Baby Shark, launching. Could that be the reason? Someone told me just now that the minting stopped and we might go back to less crazy levels. So just understand that
Baby Shark game now. That song was in my head for a straight month. I'm not even kidding.
Metrics like this will probably level off, but also understand this represents actual building, development, use, onboarding onto the network due to specific dApps. And big announcement, Tether plans major expansion into BTC mining with a $500 million investment. So this is Tether, the stablecoin company, and they have ambitions to reach 1% of BTC mining computing power under their new CEO, and their new facilities in South Africa will be part of the push. The company will build mining facilities in Uruguay, Paraguay, and El Salvador as it grows its computing power to 1% of the BTC mining network. So they will not let price go down. Crazy. Bitcoin's network will only get stronger. And if you're asking, why is
Man, that's, you know how bullish that is thinking about it? Because I mean, the overall sentiment, right? Having obviously the price is kind of, floating flat, but there's always that anticipation of the Bitcoin halving that's coming up in April of next year. They're going to be getting half the rewards literally. So man, that's crazy to think that they want to jump all into building a mining facility and get a 1% overall grasp on the mining network. That would be a shit ton of machines. That's really bullish, actually. That's a big deal.
Avalanche pumping. Avalanche pumps 14% after JP Morgan adoption. So banking giant JP Morgan will be using the blockchain to tokenize their portfolios. JP Morgan's Onyx has tapped an Avalanche subnet, or a dedicated version of the blockchain, in a proof of concept with Apollo Global, meaning this is just sort of a trial run right now. But this proof of concept illustrates the potential of blockchain smart contracts and tokenization to stream portfolio management. Boxing legend Manny Pacquiao announces a partnership with Shiba Inu.
Thank you, Shib community, for supporting the Manny Pacquiao Foundation. We are excited about this partnership. God bless.
You see his shirt? It says Louis Vuitton. It's that can't be real. That's not real.
All right. Nothing more to say. Pretty cool if you hold Shib.
All right. Nothing more to say. I still have 100 million, so please pump that shit. I'd appreciate it. All right, let's see. We have, don't know how to say your name. Daj Kula, is that how you say that? I'm sorry if I just butchered that, but he says the Binance, the Kaspa futures are working like a charm. That's awesome. Hell yeah. I, actually, anybody that doesn't know, it was listed, I guess this morning. Was it this morning? UTC, 2 o'clock, as you can see right here. November 17th, which is today. Pretty cool. Binance futures. Let's let's just go into it. I'll show you guys. So Binance futures will launch USD S-M Kaspa perpetual contract with up to 50 times leverage. I cannot go on Binance. You know what? Let me just pull a tab over real quick. I'll see if it'll even let me. I don't know if it'll dox my let me just see. Binance is unavailable in your country. Yeah, that's pretty much what it tells me. So I can't even get into it to see. It'd be cool if I could see though. Damn it, that sucks. I can't get in. I wanted to see the actual contract, but that's neat, or the actual listing. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's awesome that it's actually out there and the price didn't drop. Looking at the actual price of Kaspa, it's well, everything else is in the red, but I mean, it might have dropped a little bit, right? It was at 14 cents. What do we got? Let's see. Oh, now it's at 11.7. All right, 11.7. So it's probably going to come back to 9 or so if I had to guess. But I mean, that doesn't mean it's not going to continue to push as soon as we get another pump or anything else, right? Overall, it's still Kaspa. It's crazy how far it's been. We were shocked when this thing got to a penny and it went up to 14 cents. You know what I mean? Let's see. Not for the U.S. maybe. Yeah, no, we can't use it in the U.S. Unfortunately. Good morning, Taines. Good morning. Very early. Can Kaspa go to 1 USD? Honestly, I don't see why not. I really don't see why not. What's we actually you know what time is it? You know what, let's all right, I'm gonna give TJ. What the hell's his name? No, it's not TJ. Oh, I can't think of his name. I can't think of his name. The guy that freaking does shit with Ben Armstrong. I can't think of it. All right, give me a second. I gotta find it. There's a video that he put out talking about Kaspa, and he kind of projects it to go to here we go. I'm gonna pause this real quick. Hold on, I gotta grab it. Bear with me, I apologize. Let me just grab the link to the video, and he kind of goes over like the overall aspects of Kaspa, and to be honest, the functionality of how fast it is, kind of replacing a payment system. Like Bitcoin, you want to hold it, you don't want to spend it, not to mention it takes like a half hour to an hour for it to like get from A to B. Kaspa is like instant. It's literally faster than a Visa transaction, which we proved yesterday on the channel. Let me it is AJ. No, I said TJ. It's AJ, that's his name. That's why I couldn't think of it. Damn it. All right, let me go to this.
Hey, what's
Let's
up,
see.
everyone? My name is AJ Wright.
We're gonna watch this. So this is AJ Wright. Pretty good dude. Go check him out. He helps Mr. Ben Armstrong on his channel, but he talks about Kaspa in this, and he kind of goes over where his price prediction is. So this is like 9 minutes long. Let me see if I can yeah, you know, we'll just watch it.
It's crypto, and today I want to take a dive into an altcoin that has pumped over 2,000% since the start of this year, and that coin is no other than Kaspa. Until the past few weeks, a lot of projects spent 2023 either trading sideways or in a macro downtrend. Alternatively, Kaspa has been a one-man bull market this whole time. Is it time for a reversal now,
True.
or will Kaspa continue to be the exception? This is the price prediction make sure you smash that like button, and let's get into a Kaspa price prediction.
Little cheesy, but he's a very smart guy.
You get the joke. Starting off, obviously, this is the first price prediction I've officially made on my new channel. And to be honest, this might be the toughest price prediction I've ever had to make. All the coins I've covered in the past have had years and years of price action and historical data to go off of. With this,
Hoods to Boogie, he's still with Ben Armstrong. He does a show every day with him.
This one, I don't even have the last bull run to go off of. What I'm saying here is that since the day it launched, Kaspa has been in price discovery mode the entire time. It just hit another
correct.
all-time high at 10 cents just last night. I'm filming this
So
on
this
Friday.
was about this video was last Friday, last Thursday maybe.
So it might have even gone higher between now and Sunday when you're watching it. Although
so
I
it's
know it will
Friday.
have to retest and go back to reality at some point, there's really no telling where this thing is going to slow down. So let's dive into what Kaspa is and why so many people are catching on to it. According to their website, Kaspa is the fastest and most scalable instant confirmation transaction layer ever built on a
1000%.
proof-of-work engine. Using the Ghost DAG Phantom protocol, which is a generalization of the Bitcoin consensus, Kaspa is able to have high block rates while maintaining that level of security that proof of work offers. Here on the block DAG visualizer, you can see the block rate in action in real time.
And that's all on their
According to
website, obviously, for you guys to
Kaspa's
see.
block DAG can generate multiple blocks every second and can even combine fully formed transactions in 10 seconds. Which is why it's great for everyday transactions. The goal is to one day get to 32 per second or maybe even 100. According to their Twitter bio, they're aiming to be the fastest and purest proof of work consensus engine. To be honest, it's starting to feel like the team at Kaspa has great aim, because this coin has been the bullseye dream pick for traders so far this year. Not only that, since its inception, Kaspa has been an absolute dream for crypto miners, especially for those who jumped in early on. I have a friend back in Maryland who's been mining Kaspa for quite some time, and his weekly returns are ridiculous.
So, all right, so
token-
just for anybody that doesn't know much about mining, if you guys are here, you know, new to the channel, whatever, it's GPUs are the easy thing to get into when it comes to when it comes to mining rather. It is not worth mining Kaspa on GPUs anymore. I was asked that like 3 times yesterday, so I just want to like make that known. These ASICs that came out, it's an ASIC coin now. You're not making any sort of profits on GPUs. As far as I know, at least what I can tell, this little freaking KS0 is like 100 gigahash. There's another one that's 200 gigahash, and they literally, like, you're not going to get anywhere near that on a GPU. So I'm just going to let you guys know it's not worth doing that. But if you're going to buy like a, KS0, then yeah, it might be worth it. A couple bucks a day is what it is.
Economics people out there, it's looking pretty good for us too. The chart on your screen right here is Kaspa's emission schedule. As you can see,
that's the unique thing about Kaspa, right? The way they do their emission schedule, where they shave off a little bit every month for 12 months, instead of just doing it once every year in a huge chunk. Do you know what I mean? So that's pretty neat.
in the start, it was pretty aggressive, but in my opinion, the worst is over. If you don't know, Kaspa's total supply is 28.7 billion, and about 75% of its total supply is already in circulation. According to this Medium article,
we're going to see it mined out in our lifetime, which is a big deal.
By January 1st, 2025, we can expect 87.4% of its supply to be in circulation. So inflation will play a role, but it could be worse, trust me. If you want to understand Kaspa's tokenomics, you have to understand that it's a two-phase monetary policy. The pre-deflationary phase ended last May, and since then, Kaspa has been in the chromatic phase of its monetary policy. This is where the block time decreases geometrically over time based off the musical 12-note scale, the chromatic scale. If you don't know, I'm a pretty big music nerd, so I think it's awesome that they did it this way. The way it works is that the block rewards half once per year, but instead of it happening all at once, it happens gradually each month since there's 12 months in a year, like an octave and 12 notes or semitones on the chromatic scale. So with the mining, as time goes on, of course the block rewards will go down, but at least the supply will reach its max relatively fast. By July 10th, 2026, 95% of all CAS will be mined.
That's crazy. July 10th, 2026.
Beyond having solid tokenomics, I know a lot of people are bullish on this project because they feel the world needs a real decentralized Ethereum. Before Ethereum switched over to proof of stake, 70% of the servers were hosted on centralized clouds. Even now that it's proof of stake, 35% of the nodes are hosted on AWS. And I understand why this frustrates so many people. With that said, I completely see the silver lining and why Kaspa is a better alternative. It's fast, secure, it's scalable, and it has Ethereum's gas fees beat by a long shot.
It's insanely
Not only that,
fast.
a future factor for Kaspa's price action is that it's yet to be listed on major exchanges like Binance or Coinbase. The biggest
well, obviously when we didn't know that it was going to be listed on Binance futures, right? When he, made this video last week, but obviously it's listed there now this morning, so that's a big deal.
Exchanges that it's on so far is BitGet, KuCoin, and MEXC. Side note, real fast, if you want to start trading on my favorite crypto exchange, BitGet, make sure you click the link down below in the description. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel and smashed that like button yet, I would really appreciate it.
Yeah, hit the like, guys. Appreciate you.
I want you to think about Kaspa like Ethereum before it had real attention from institutional investors.
And that's a good point. Thinking about Kaspa like it was Ethereum before it had real institutional investors. It's so when I mean, I don't know how to compare the two really. I guess deep in it, right? But when it comes to like thinking about where Ethereum was before the last bull run, and how it was mineable and how, people were into it and it was on exchanges, but they weren't like super into it. The price I saw it at was like $280 or something, like the lowest around there. And seeing it go from there to $4,500 in the last bull run, like I don't see why Kaspa and the utility, how fast it is, wouldn't make people happy. You know what I mean? And make people use it.
Real attention from institutional investors. I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that this is the exact situation Kaspa is in. Sure, the price action has been unreal, but we got to remember, this thing is still in its infancy. In fact, Kaspa just had its second birthday a few days ago. But just because it's a baby doesn't mean I'm going to underestimate it. Kaspa is going to grow up and be a bully. So let's get into the price prediction. Okay, so remember, out of its 28.7 billion total supply, 21.4 billion CAS are already in circulation.
So this is what people wanted to hear, right? This is what you guys wanted to know. Could Kaspa get to $1? And I mean, he explains it perfectly here.
It's about 75%, and that's great. But to do an accurate price prediction, we need to know how many coins will be in circulation by November of 2025. That date is significant because it's the projected top of the next bull run. Historically speaking, crypto market tops have all come a year and a half after the Bitcoin halving. And if this coming cycle sticks to the pattern, November 2025 is the deadline. If you remember this chart I showed you earlier in the video, we already have a pretty good idea how many Kaspa will be in circulation by November of 2025. Based off my calculations, 91.7% of the Kaspa supply will be in circulation by that point. That means that the heightened supply at that time will be in the ballpark of 26.3 billion coins. From the current supply, we will almost see a 22% increase in the supply between now and November of 25. For perspective, at the time of filming this video, CAS is exactly 9 cents. And if it had today's market cap with the heightened supply that it will have in November of 25, it would only be worth 7.5 cents. I wanted to
That's today. That's today, just a comparison.
You that to illustrate how much inflation matters, and it does matter now. But once it gets to that destination supply, it will matter less and less. And of course, we have to take that into account for a realistic price prediction. So this is the problem with this prediction here, is that there's no dominance to go off of. There's no major partnerships. There's no major exchange listings. And the current market cap sits right around $2 billion. There's a lot of variables here that are unknowns, so I'm going to stick to the math. For Kaspa to get to $1 with the heightened supply, it would need a $26.3 billion market cap. To be honest,
let's just look 26.3 now. Go to CoinGecko just to see. What do you say? $26.3 billion market cap. That would make it a top 6. It would make it the 6th position in the top 10 coins. Which, I mean, realistically, why couldn't it get there, right? You see Doge in 10th with $11 billion. You know what I mean? Definitely a possibility. So continue.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if Kaspa made it that far. It might seem like too much too fast, but like I said, this project is still in its infancy. And it's wild how supportive the community is regardless of the lack of institutional interest. As much as I like to be realistic and I want to just say 70 cents, I really don't see a scenario where Kaspa doesn't at least get to $1 by November of 25. For the more bullish narrative, let's say it does land those Binance and Coinbase listings. Let's say that it does get that institutional interest and more people see the silver lining of it being a more decentralized alternative to Ethereum. In that case, I could easily see Kaspa getting up to the $75 billion market cap, and that would land us with a
$75 billion he thinks he could get to? Which one would that be? 75 billion would be top 4. I mean, that might be a little bit of a stretch, but we'll see. I mean, why not? Why not?
Price target around $2.85, a 32x from right here.
That'd be
At the end of the day, my price prediction for Kaspa at the top of the next bull run is between $1 and $2.85. Boom, there you go. There's my Kaspa price prediction.
So that's his Kaspa prediction. It's pretty awesome. Shout out to him, AJ, right? This is, let me share the link of the video. I put it in the description as well while we were watching that. But if you guys are interested, go follow him. Like him. He's a smart dude. He knows his shit. So it's pretty cool. But I mean, realistically, I don't see why Kaspa can't get to a top 10, dude. It was at a $3 billion market cap yesterday. $3 billion. Okay, 500 million came out of it today, or with, you know, between yesterday and today. Obviously, buy the rumor, sell the news, kind of like I mentioned in yesterday's video. Yeah, it's a big deal when coins get on exchanges, but it could, you know, it's good and bad. When you have something like Binance, it's leverage, right? It could be a lot of shorts. Who knows? But shorts could get burnt. You never know. But they flipped Monero. They were in 27th place, if I'm not mistaken. So it's definitely possible. It is definitely possible to see that again. But guys, that's gonna do it. That is gonna do it. I'm tired. It's early. I know I streamed early. I apologize, but I do have to get ready for the next live stream. We're having a Dynex proof of useful work meeting with 4 of the devs, 1 special guest, and yours truly. I am literally just providing the platform for them to basically stream, right? So I'm gonna do an opening intro, and then I'm gonna hand it over to the guys. They're gonna do their entire stream, however, and I'm gonna do all the background stuff, and then we're gonna do an AMA at the end, so you guys can ask all your questions about Dynex, proof of useful work, everything you need to know. So it's going to be super significant that you guys watch this, guys. I'll catch you in a little bit. Have a good day. Happy Friday, and I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Peace out. Have a good day, if I don't see you. Smash that like on the way out, please. Peace.